I am actually just going to begin, just a very, very quick question about John C. Reilly, because I've recently come to the decision that he is the best actor working today. Discuss.
Johnny Reilly.
John C.
Johnny
C.
C. I think he is the best actor working today. Mm-hmm. He's one of the most versatile, one of the funniest.
One of the most humane, because every character I've ever seen him play, I can feel the human being and the sympathy I have for, or empathy that I have for the character that's underneath the surface.
And I don't think John will do a part if he doesn't somehow feel like he can realize it fully. And he challenges you as a director in the best way, where if a scene doesn't make sense to the way he understands the character, you either have to really explain it or be prepared to make it better. And he makes us better.
And he can sing, he can dance, he can do comedy, he can do broad comedy and deep drama.
And deep tissue massage.
Yeah,
He does it all.
Thai massage, it's so good.
And you mentioned the humanity he brings to characters. I mean, I was just wondering, not to get sort of too deep or anything, but what we see in this character in Ralph is a big macho man who shows so many shades of vulnerability. He's very vulnerable. He's quite self-destructive. He becomes aware of his self-destructive traits and his clingingness. And how important do you think it is to show fragility within in masculinity, and then give that to a young audience? Because I think obviously there is toxic masculinity out there.
I think it's very important to show. I think we live in a time now that men are being presented as they've got to be tough. They can't cry. They can't be vulnerable. And I think Ralph is a great vessel to show, look, he's a big tough guy. He's a big brawny kind of bruiser, but just like you said, you can feel the vulnerability, and he knows he's made mistakes. I mean, he's not perfect, he's got flaws, but I think that's okay. That's what we love about him. And the fact that by the end of the story, he can face those mistakes he's made and rise above them, I think is a beautiful thing. I think it's a great not lesson, but just a good example for not just kids, but adults.
And masculinity and feminism don't have to be mutually exclusive. It's a weird notion that you can't be a feminist, which simply means you look at women as equals.
Yes.
And also be a man. So I think Ralph coming to terms with that in some ways is a nice journey, and it's not a
zero-sum game.
No, it really isn't.
And I love also just talking of, well, not on the subject of feminism, but the use of the princesses in this, and the way they really very affectionately ridiculed the quite old-fashioned tropes of Disney kind of storytelling. You must have had so much fun with that. I mean, you had the license here to really delve into the whole Disney canon, really, didn't you? Even as far as Star Wars and Marvel as well.
I mean, and to get really specific about those tropes and kind of foibles of their character, and not try to update them or change them or make them something different from who they are, but just, I think the audience may have forgotten who they are because they present as these kind of fashion plates, these models and these gowns. And what I love about the scene is they're just talking about the stories from those movies, and we're able to kind of see them in a new light and see those kind of foibles in a new light. But you still love them, at the end. It's not changing who they are at all.
And of course that leads into, there is a very brief, but there's a cameo in there as well, isn't there, of Stan Lee, of course. I mean, obviously, that it was tragic, sort of, see him passing very recently, but what sort of legacy has he left behind him? Obviously, his two people must have grown up on his work in the same way that kids today are growing up on his work.
Yeah, I think Stan Lee, more than anything for me, the characters he created, these heroes that have very human traits and very human flaws, really opened up the door for characters like Ralph, frankly, who is a deeply insecure, deeply self-destructive character, very much in the mold of some of Stan Lee's great creations. So it's an honor, and it's profound that that he's makes an appearance in our film.
And just very finally, because obviously Ralph is breaking the internet here in two senses, but
Yes.
obviously he's recreating lots of our favourite YouTube clips. Have you guys got a go-to YouTube clip that you? I mean, I love the screaming.
You have no idea.
Screaming goats, I love, and also people doing.
We're gonna give you one that is not popular,
Go on.
but you are going to make it popular.
Okay, go
We're
on.
going to talk about this.
The British Pork Council has an ad from 1983 or
84,
4.
I think it is. You just have to search British pork 1984.
Creepy advert.
Okay, you'll come up on page 6. No?
Yeah. No, it's number
right
one.
there.
It's number one.
It's the thing we watch the most on YouTube.
Presently.
Okay.
It's this strange actor, that's he's supposed to be selling British pork, but it's the oddest choices that he's making as this father character serving his family and friends this pork. He's very angry about the pork, and he's like almost arrogantly throwing it in your face that they're having a roast pork for Sunday lunch. And I can't get enough of this. So
at the end of this
gotta
interview, I think,
see this.
we're going to cut to it now. That's
Yeah,
what I'm going to do. I'm going to go like
do
that.
it right now.
Got what it takes, my wife. Got friends round. Got roast pork for lunch. Plenty of taste, British pork. Real value for money. Fred's got plenty. Arthur's got plenty. We've all got plenty. Plenty to go round. My wife's got what it takes. British pork. What's it got? It's got the lot. Got pork for lunch on Sunday?
And now we're
And
coming
Ralph breaks
back
the
to
internet.
it. Now we're
Hashtag
coming
Ralph
back
breaks the
to it,
internet.
and it's like, well, I guess that wasn't as funny as I thought.
We like it. We like it.
Anyway, thank you so much for your time today.
John Dacre, that's another one.
Cheers, thank you so much.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're watching Hey You Guys!
Hey You Guys, huh?
Hey, you guys.
Is that from the Goonies?
It is indeed, yeah.
Nice.
Hey,